We ain't gonna prolong time. We're gonna go ahead and try to get started. Today we started your 9-week test review. It is inside of Schoology in this week's folder. May or may not load up. It's a math class, you know me. If it ain't loaded,
I
get some
got
paper and pen.
I just need about a week.
Okay. It'll work a class, the next class it don't work. It just be all crazy. All right, so if it opens and it give you a chance to open with Cami, make sure you open with Cami. The Cami will allow you to draw on it as well as write on it. Y'all know me, 2 things I'm inspecting, work or explanation, either or. It also tells us this is time when everyone can participate by either reading the question, you can give us some keywords in the question, you can tell us a strategy to solve the problem, or you can explain the problem. Several ways to make sure you're going to receive a participation grade. All right, and then of course it reminded us that all work for this 9 weeks is due by March 12th. That's next Friday. So definitely be checking and making sure to see if you're missing something to make sure you get it done. All right, number 1. Someone read it to us. All right, somebody tell us something. You say which one? Why? All right, look like half and half. Somebody said go through the middle. So this problem didn't have any work, but it definitely got an explanation telling us something that told us, okay, B will be the correct answer, and B is correct. Scatter plots. That's something we were looking at on last week. So we clearly need to know it needs to go half and half or 3 points. Questions about it? All right, I'm gonna give you a few minutes to get situated. Afternoon to Kylan, Steven, Braylon. Today we started 9-week test review. It is inside of Schoology. We're just looking at number 1. I'll give you about another minute to get caught up. Was what? It should say third 9 weeks. It's in this week's folder, March 1st through the 12th. And it should be right below Tuesday. I don't think I put Wednesday with it. I just said third 9 weeks. Third 9 weeks. Mm-hmm. That's it. It's like third 9 weeks study guide. That's the one. Yep, put on the first one. All right, fellas, you joining us. I just explained that this is the part of the year where everybody can receive a participation grade through either reading the question, you can tell us some keywords in the question, you can tell us how to solve the question, or you can tell us an explanation to the problem, or how you was thinking what you was thinking. Left-handed. You been left-handed? I don't remember you being left-handed.
Oh, that's because my left hand was sore hanging my right.
So you can use either one?
I can use it.
Awesome. Your hair different too. Look, he got. You gotta leave it? Okay. You try to get some dreads? Okay. You gotta get them back? Okay. All right, number 2. Somebody want to read to us? Yo, what's in pull up to me? I'm trying to pull it now. That's all right. They're supposed to be fixing the Wi-Fi, so hopefully they'll fix it.
What you look up on? 38 plus 138 greater than 8 plus 2.
I got you. Okay. So what will be our first step in trying to solve this inequality? Okay. Y'all love calling that distributive property parentheses. All right, so go ahead and multiply it out. 2 times -1.
-2.
All right, and then 2 times 1x.
2x.
Good job. And then we're gonna bring the other side down, leave it alone. So now we have 3x plus 1/3 x. All right, what can we do now? All right, now we're gonna combine like terms. Is there anything the same on the left side? Okay, so look at these 3's. Both of them have an x. So what's 3 plus 1/3? Come on here. Okay, so now we got 3 1/3 x. Can we do anything on the right side, combining like terms? All right, don't do the 2 because both of them don't have x's. So I will look at x's. So now that'll be 1x plus 2x. Good job, 3x. And then it's being taken away by 2. All right. We now recognize we got an x on both sides. Which one is the smallest x? 3 1/3 or 3? 3. So that's the one we're moving. So we're going to subtract 3x on both sides. 3 1/3 take away 3. Okay, so now we have 1/3 x is greater than -2. Now what we doing? Got to get x by itself. What's happening over here with x? So if we multiply, we need to, what's the inverse? Multiply.
Divide.
It's division. So now we're going to divide by 1/3. So we can come over here if we need to, and that takes us in the mind of division of fractions. So in other words, we'll multiply by the reciprocal. So what is -2 times 3?
-6.
You can do that part first and then come back and multiply. Y'all better bring him a snack tomorrow. So our correct answer would be C. Did y'all say thank you? So x is greater than -6. Any questions about what happened? Everybody got what you need?
Well, yes, ma'am.
All right. So since it had it as a fraction, this right here. Since it was a fraction, we just went back to how we divide fraction. Y'all probably learned it KFC. Keep flip change. So that's what I came on the side and did to show you that we kept the first one, changed the multiplication, then multiply by herself. Yep. You got it? Okay. All right, this one had 2 parts. I'm gonna try to get it all on one page. All right, someone want to read to us the beginning and through?
Consider the ice cream cone with a height of 6 inches and a radius of 1.5 inches. Serve as the ice cream cone. Approximately how much space is inside of the ice cream cone? Use 3.14 as an approximation of the height.
All right. So they said how much space? They mentioned we got a height of 6 inches. We got a radius of 1.5 inches. Looking at these answer choices, I see a little 3. What have I found if it gave me the little 3? That's volume. So then after I said, what kind of shape is it?
Triangle.
So we are finding the volume of a cone. It is a formula. Remember, you will not have to remember it. It will be given to you. Pi times r to the second power times the height divided by 3. And I'm going to write it what it'll usually look like. So they'll usually have it written as pi r squared and then height divided by 3. But of course, we can't do all those formulas with typing. At least I ain't figured it out. All right, so pi, they told us we're going to use 3.14. Did they give us the radius?
Yes. 1.5.
Yeah. Did they give us the height?
Yes. 6.
All right, somebody do 1.5 squared.
Two point 25.
Multiply that. What is 6 divided by 3? So multiply that 2.25 times 2.
$14.13.
Oh, you did the final step. I think that one was what, 4.5 maybe? And then you went ahead and multiplied it by 14, 3.14, 14.13. Good.
I need to come. That's like 5 times square. How do you do it? Because I be doing like, when you say 5 times square, if it's like a 2 or something, I do 5 times 5 like you do this phone.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes, that's correct. So for 1.5 squared, you could have did 1.5 times 1.5, and it gave you 2.15. Yes. And to me, for squared, you see that open parentheses above it? You can hit that as well and it'll give you the square. But yes, if you want to multiply to make sure, I definitely would. All right, somebody read part B to us if you can see it.
The ice cream processors spherical scoops of ice cream with a radius of 1 inch. What is the exponent volume of 2 scoops of ice cream? Use 3.14 as an explanation of pi.
All right, good job. Now, what they tell us in this problem? Okay, radius of 1 inch. All right, we got to find the volume of 2 scoops. Probably ain't gonna need it. What kind of shape did they tell us we got? Spherical. So that looks like a sphere. That's kind of like that basketball. And we see the little 3 again, so we know that'll be volume of a sphere. The formula is equal to 4/3 times pi times r to the 3rd power. Uh-oh, hold up. What did I say? Volume of sphere. 4/3 times pi times r to the 3rd power. That's it. Yeah, like this or something. So that's what it'll typically look like. All right, so we only need the radius. They told us that radius is 1. What's 1 cubed? 1 times 1 times 1. All right. So now we have 4/3 being multiplied by 3.14. So if I were you, I would do that fraction first. 4 divided by 3. All right, keep that in there and just hit times 3.14. All right. How many scoops did they tell us we got? 2. This told us 1. So multiply that by 2. Good job. We will be our correct answer. Any questions about it? Everybody got what you need? Is that enough? Come on. Come here to me. Ms. Jackson, you can get it in, or she can get it in. All right, number 5. Good job. This is a two-way table. We looked at it some Monday as well as, I ain't gonna say Monday, this was yesterday. A two-way table. We call it a two-way table because they give us 2 different sets of categories. So if I look to the right, what categories are they referencing? What would you call hot dog, pizza, and hamburger? Food. And then if I look up top, what are they talking about? Drinks.
Beverage items.
So it's a two-way table. Food, drinks. So they asked us, we want the percentage of people who ordered pizza but got no drink. Pizza but got no drink. So that means you need to look on the side for pizza, look on the side for no drink, and tell us where they meet up at. Y'all made it? What you got? What? Good job, 28. So that means 28 will be our numerator. The first thing they mentioned was pizza. So we need the total of how many people ordered pizza. Good job. That's the overall total. Now somebody divide that out.
42.
Check that, make sure you divide it right. 28 divided by 62.
I did.
All right, so then I shift 2 times, 45%. So with two-way tables, look and try to see where they meet up at. That'll be your numerator, and then whatever they mention first, that's the total that's gonna be your denominator. Any questions about it? Everybody got what you need? All right, 6 says, consider this function, which describes the graph of the function between x equals 4 and x equal to 8. So on that graph, that's the only part I'm looking at, x equal to 4. So I'm gonna find 4 on my x-axis. Then I'm gonna find 8 on my x-axis. So that means this is the only area I'm looking at on this graph, right here. So then when I look at my answer choices, I notice they're talking about nonlinear, linear, or increasing or decreasing. Now, would you say that this part of this graph is linear or nonlinear? Why you say nonlinear?
Because it's decreasing.
All right, it curves, and then Steven said it's decreasing. So our correct answer will be B, nonlinear and decreasing. So if they give us a question like that, only look at the places they want you to look at. That's all. That's it. Any questions about it? All right. All right, number 7. Can someone read it? All right, anybody can tell us something about a function?
A straight line.
That's a kind of a function, but it don't describe all functions. All right, so a function has one x value for every y value. One x value for every y value. Or in other words, the x cannot repeat. On a graph, we can use what's called the pencil line test to make sure we are not touching more than one point at a time. So a function will have one x value for every y value, or the x cannot repeat. On a graph, we check to see with a pencil line test to make sure we're not touching more than one
Good afternoon. We are
point.
getting ready for dismissal. I have a couple of bus notes. I need the following students to report to the front office for a bus note. Jaden Durr, Kennedy Durr, Hayden Brown, Ava Jones, Ariana Otis, Zentavius Otis, and Royalty Longino. Royalty Longino, Zentavius Otis, Ariana Otis. If it's a kindergarten, TA, please come pick up this bus note for us. If it's a kindergarten student, Jaden Durr, Ava Jones,
Who we should move
Hayden
bus notes
Brown, and Kennedy Durr. Thank you.
All right.
If you
Everybody
are a
got that
staff
one?
member not holding the class, go ahead and start preparing for your
All right, so this is what we
I
mean
will be
by
back on
the pencil line
start
test.
dismissing car ride.
I will take my pencil and I'm holding it up to each graph and make sure I don't touch more than one point at a time. I give you case in point. If I hold it up at D, am I hitting more than one point at one time? It'll be touching that point and that point. So that means that's not a function I'm touching too many. It don't matter. All right. What about B? Huh? Yep, we're gonna hit more than 1 point. That means that's not a function. Look at A and B, A and C. On which one?
See,
That ain't B, B. You said we want him? You sure? We on the go upside down. I'm gonna be touching all. That's not a function. A will be our right now. So that's just how simple that question is. Hold that pencil up and I'm gonna make sure I don't touch more than 1 point at one time. Any questions about a function? Now we said that we gotta at least try to get us a few points. Y'all got it? All right, number 8.
this statement is describing a equation 2x minus 11, which is 2x minus 11 minus 8.
Good job. All right, so now we're talking about solutions. You may or may not forgot, but I'm gonna tell it to you again. If I get a no solution, it's gonna look like A equals to B. Or in other words, I got 2 different numbers that's clearly are not equal to each other. That's how we know if it'll be A equals to B. Like if I finish and it say 3 equals to 4, I can use my common sense to say that's not true. I would get one solution if it looks like X equal to A, or in other words, X equal to some number. So anytime I can solve X and get a number, I got one solution. It's known as infinitely many solutions. And I would get something that's A equals to A. Or in other words, it's the same thing on both sides. So those are kinds of solutions. So looking at this equation, what might I do first?
Sure, property.
Okay, 2 times X,
2x,
2 times negative 10.
20.
Don't forget your negative. All right, what can I do now? What can I do with this? That's a good like term. So what is negative 20 minus 8? Check it. Both of them negative.
Negative 28.
So we'll keep both of them negative. So you will add and keep the sign. So negative 28. Look right there by the side of equal. This way, it looks like that. You see it right there? Okay, I got it. All right. Is there anything the same on both sides? 2x. So I'm gonna get rid of that. So now we have
Good
negative
afternoon.
12 is equal
We are
to
getting ready to dismiss
negative
Cartwright.
28. Is negative 12 equal to negative 28? What's our answer?
So it's no solution.
Good job.
B.
No solution. Any questions about it? Everybody got what you need? The baby, Samir? I don't be trying to rush you. I just be trying to keep us caught up with the other ones. All right, number 9. Ask us to consider these 2 triangles. What do you recognize about those triangles? Are they the same? Are they different? Okay. One bigger than the other. All right, so anytime we have one that's bigger than the other, it's known as a dilation. That means the shape got bigger or smaller. Good job. The shape got bigger and smaller, but it will be the same shape. So I love how you know this is the same triangle.
Second and third car riders and fourth grade
All
car
those
riders.
questions mention dilation to us. Anytime you have dilation, they mention the scale factor. All right, so information about scale factor. If scale factor is small, the shape got smaller. If the scale factor is large or a whole number, the shape got larger. So in dilation, the shape get bigger or smaller. And then we have scale factor. If it's a small scale factor, meaning a fraction, the shape got smaller. If it's a large scale factor with a whole number, the shape got larger. So they numbered these triangles. From 1 to 2, what happened?
One got smaller.
It got smaller. So what can I eliminate? All right, Stephen told us it got smaller. So what kind of scale factor should we have had? Good job. So that means C and D can be gone because it got smaller. All right, so then looking at A and B, the N told us something. It says similar or not similar. What does similar mean?
The same.
Same what? What's congruent? And talking about shapes. All right, so don't confuse similar with congruent.
5, 6
Similar
car
when you
riders,
get
you
the
are
same
dismissed
shape,
at this time. 5, 6 car
but
riders,
a
you are
different size.
dismissed.
London, you told us earlier it looked like the same triangle, so would we say it's similar? Yes. B would be our correct answer. Any questions about it? Okay. Everybody got what you need? All right, we're going to try to make it through 10. All right, 10 reads which expression is equivalent to that. And we got a few vocabulary real quick. We multiply with the same base. We will add the exponents. And then if we divide by the same base, we will subtract exponents. Multiply by the same base, we're going to add those exponents. Divide by the same base, we're going to subtract exponents. All right, so in this expression, we're going to look at it separate. We're going to look at the numerator or the top first, and then we're going to look at the bottom. So if we look at the top, what base is the same? Good job, 8. So we got 8 to the negative third and 8 squared. They are both being multiplied, and we said when we multiply, we're going to do what?
7, 8 car riders, you are dismissed at this time.
So
7, 8 car riders, you are
-3
dismissed.
+ 2.
Okay, 8 car riders should be dismissed at this time.
-1.
Good job. So now we write that as 8 to the negative 1, and it still has the 5 on the top. So now let's look at that denominator. Is anything the same in that denominator? What?
5.
right, so now we're looking at the 5. They are multiplying, so what are we gonna do with those exponents? Look again.
Okay.
Okay, so now we got -4 plus 6.
2.
2.
All right, so now on the bottom, we still got 8 squared, and now we got 5 to the 2nd power. All right. Now, since we only got 2 things on top and on the bottom, now we're going to do the division. All right, that's good. So I'm going to separate it right there. So if I'm looking at my 8's first, we are now dividing, so we're going to subtract those exponents. -1 minus 2. All right, so we got 8 to the -3rd. And then 5 to the 1 power minus 2. One minus 2. You probably did 5. That's, I know it. That's why I said you did your 5. Is it negative? It is. 5 to the -1. Then we got one rule with negative exponents. Negative exponents, we will take the reciprocal, and the exponent becomes the opposite. So we will take the reciprocal, and the exponent becomes the opposite. All right, if we do a reciprocal, back in lower grades,
K1 bus
reciprocal meant
riders,
to
you
do
are
what?
dismissed at this time. K1 bus riders, you are dismissed at this time.
Reciprocal, what that mean do? All right, so that means we're gonna flip it. So right now, both of these are as the numerator. That would be only one. But since both of them are negative, that tells me that we gotta flip them. Meaning, if I'm on top, I'm now coming to the bottom. So now I got 8 to the 3rd on the bottom, 5 to the -1 was on top, so now it's coming to the bottom, and it's becoming positive. And up top, we only got 1 left. So A will be our correct answer. That's those exponent rules. Any questions about it?
Yeah.
Not sure? All right. We're going to stop right there today. We'll start 9 weeks testing on next Monday. Not sure what day you'll be doing math, but I'll be trying to review until then. I know I'll be reviewing tomorrow, and I will possibly do a session on Friday to review as well, just to make sure that if we want to get it, we'll get it. You got missing assignments? Don't forget to work on them. You got a question about it? Send me a message, let me know. Have a good one.